Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is April 12th, 2022, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, U.S. markets sell off aggressively. Now looking at the major economic events of the day at 2:30 South African time out of the United States, we have a monthly CPI number coming out. And looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the British pound and the euro tread near their lows. Looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, as mentioned, sell off. Looking at commodities, gold gaining at 1958, breaking out of that really tight range. And oil still very steady. Now looking at the stocks, it's the tech stocks that were the biggest losers. We're going to go through each one of them. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin dipping below 40K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. It's going to start with the Eur Usd at a 4-hour chart. And look at that. It's on its lows. It wants to break lower, just doesn't have the volume to break lower. Looking at the GBP USD also, you could see this on a weekly chart. Let's look at a daily. It's right there. Okay, it's not breaking lower. What is holding off, if you could see this, okay, is the Australian dollar. Still relatively strong compared to some of the other currencies. Okay, so not much doing here. It is selling off. How have we gotten to an area where we sold off completely? Yes, this is a piece of support, at least for the Aussie USD. Now looking at the commodities, first looking at gold, you see that breakout, okay? It's a slight breakout because if you look at a 1-hour chart, you can see what I'm talking about. We've been in this 1940-ish level to 1900-ish level for quite some time. Now it's relatively a tight range for gold, okay? So if it does break above 1964, that's really the area I'm looking for it to take it to the 2000-ish area if you do see that, okay? Now it has less volume, okay, but it's there, okay? I want to see it go, okay? The reason I want to see it go is because it's been teasing us forever, okay, ever since the beginning of March, and I think now is the time for it to go. Now looking at crude oil, it did gain a little bit on 97.40. We're in a $1 or $2 range, and as you can see, we're still in this wedge formation and haven't broken out, okay? So this is really a very important, as this is getting much, much tighter, as this is going to explode in one direction or the other, for better or for worse. Now looking at the U.S. markets, the Dow Jones trading at 34,009, shedding off over 500 points yesterday, okay, as this sell-off has taken face. Now we are hitting a little bit of supportish area at this 34,000-ish area. Okay, so just be aware of it as we continue this sell-off. Now looking at the NASDAQ, even sharper sell-off and breaking the 30-day moving average on a daily. That's important. Okay, when you break it on a 4-hour chart, that's not as important. But if you look at a daily, okay, when you do break that 30-day moving average, that's significant, and that's what's happening exactly right now. Now looking at the individual stocks, the tech stocks were the biggest losers. Looking at Apple, trading to 165. Remember, this is a $13 retracement. Looking at Facebook, did retrace about 20 bucks, okay, altogether from its highs of 235. Looking at Microsoft, dipping even further. This is really an important stock because gapping down and going down is huge for Microsoft, okay? Just last week we were at 315 and we're about $30 lower. That's almost 10% retracement for Microsoft. Amazon also getting hit. Looking at JP Morgan, it didn't, okay? It sustained itself here on the lows. The question is that whether or not it's playing a little bit of a rotation and it's going to set off later. Now looking lastly at Bitcoin, look at this drop. Okay, so you know, it's trading still in a range. We kind of said maybe you could pick it up at 42,000, 41,000-ish level. But if you kept yourself in a tight stop loss, you could have saved yourself, you know, some pain on the downside. Okay, so still, it's still in a range for all intents and purposes. Not any different where it was. If you look at the volume, it's quite consistent throughout the entire time. So keep that in mind. CPI number coming out today out of the United States. That's a very, very important number. And I think the markets are waiting for that number. It is a monthly number, and it's been just as important as non-farm payroll. Okay, that's how much the economics of everything that is going on in the world post-pandemic, everything's taking into consideration. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.